It's your life. Coast Life.
Yorkshire Coast Radio.
Hello again, and welcome to another edition of the Coast Life podcast from Yorkshire Coast Radio. Now, what happens if your jewellery gets damaged? How easy is it to repair our favourite jewellery? And what are the common causes of damage in the first place? Well, to get some answers, I took a trip to Bond Jewellers in Scarborough. I met up with Ricky and asked him how much repair work they do.
Yeah, we do a horrific amount of repairs. In fact, a lady's come in this morning and she said, I was cleaning the bath and it just fell off. And I said to you, naughty girl, you shouldn't clean in your jewellery, you should take it off. And I said, oh, look, I got my notebook out and I was going to start to write her name down, I had a look at it. I said, hang on a minute. And I said, I can do that now for you. And I just repaired it with a pair of pliers. It was so simple job. This type of clasp, you can't solder it because it seizes. And I just did it for her while she's waited. She said, oh, thanks, love, it saved me a job. How much is that? And I said, oh, don't be ridiculous, it's a small repair. No names, no pet drill. We were actually, a repair was brought in from the main street and it was £100 odd, this repair. I think it was about 160 or something, a bottom shank. And then they took it back about 6 months later and it cracked along the bottom. So they actually said, we'll have a look at this. Yes, we've got your price, it's £120. The lady went crazy. She said, I've just had it done 6 months ago, how can you charge me that? Anyway, she gave it to us. We put it into our workshop for a quote. She come in and I said, oh, your ring's ready for you. She said, I've told you I didn't want it doing, I wanted a quote. I said, oh, I'm sorry, it's £9. And she was tickled pink and she said, I'm going to be your best type of publicity out there, she said. And we find if people, I would love people to go in the main street first, get their quotes, then come here and we'll be a breath of fresh air to them.
What are the common sort of repairs you get in then? Is it broken chains and clasps and things? Or?
Yeah, you get a lot of people, they believe for some ridiculous reason because jewellery is expensive, it's indestructible. You know, we have a sign up in the shop, don't sleep in your jewellery. I'm washing it, it's common sense. And a lady will have a ring on and a beautiful diamond ring worth a lot of money and all the claws will be broke off and she said, I just don't know what happened, the stone fell out. And I say to them, stones just don't fall out, you knock them out. You know, be careful, I'm talking myself out of a job here. We tried to educate them on. I mean, I had a lady in, she was 4 times, and she screamed and shouted every time, and it was coming embarrassing. The 4th time she come in, and she looked at me, I thought, oh no, not again. And she said, I've come to apologise. I said, why is that? And at the time, she had an old MGB Sports, and she used to change the gear with her left hand at the time. Oh, right, and which way around, I can't remember what it was. And she had a mesh seat. And what she was doing, she was driving the gears forward in this old car, and there was catching claws, and the stones were down the side of the gear stick. And this happened, you know, some of the stories that you remember. And then you get the lad coming in with a broken nose and a black eye, and his ring's all broke. And I said, oh, what's happened? Oh, it just fell to bits. So you get that side of it as well.
Rings and when they come in for repair, does that tend to be like scratches on the metalwork and on the jewels and things? Is that kind of what you're looking at?
You do get scratches, but a lot of it is claw work gone. As I said, a lot of ladies think it's you can do everything in it, gardening and so on. I remember we had a lady who she told, we actually didn't do this for her, but we did. We put the stone back in. She lost the stone and she lost it on her drive. She was doing some gardening. And she jumped in the car, went somewhere, going down the road, and realised this stone had gone. Anyway, the insurance company sent her a cheque, I think it was about £60,000 or £70,000 just for the diamond. You know, she brought the ring in, just the stone, the claw had gone. And I said to her, you really weren't supposed to garden in this ring. Well, I paid a lot of money for it. I said, I know, it doesn't mean it's indestructible.
The other thing with rings that people need doing quite a bit as well is quite often you need them resizing as well. I mean, how difficult a job is that?
It's very, very simple. A lot of people think that you actually just stretch it. You cannot stretch a stoned ring. A wedding ring, you put it on like a roller and you roll this piece of metal around it on a roller and it stretches it. Yeah, that is in yellow gold, you can do that. If it's in white gold, you'll actually scratch all the rhodium because there isn't such a thing as white gold. It's like a lemon colour and you rhodium plate it. We do a lot of sizing. If it's a stoned ring, diamond, sapphire, ruby, whatever, we turn it over, put it in a type of vice, cut it, open it up and put a piece in. But when it starts, what adds to it, that isn't particularly too expensive. What brings the expense up is we have to re-rhodium it if it's white gold. And our rhodium is a very strong rhodium because you only use the best. Because some people say, well, I've had my ring rhodium and it keeps coming off. If it does, it comes off at the back, which you can't see. But also, if people are doing gardening, slamming car doors, doing all kinds of crazy things, it's a bit like a mirror finishes rhodium, and it scratches. So professionally done, 25, 30 quid, something like that, to have something sized and rhodiumed. Obviously, it all depends how thick the ring is. If it's a lot thicker, a lot heavier, bigger, more gold, it's more money. We do loads of jobs. If the viewers could see our repair shop, it's packed out with repairs. And some people get the hump with us because we can't do it immediately like some people advertise around here, same-day repairs. We like to do it properly. We like to send it off, get it in, take the time, do a real good job of it. You know, if they can't wait a week, fair enough. But if someone's a customer and they really need it urgently, if our man can fit it in, but what I always say to them, if it's going to go there and back, you've got your post there, your post back. But if it's an emergency, say for instance, something's happened, say they fell over and they're getting married on Saturday and it's Wednesday, we just say, right, we register it to our workshop, get it done, back. You know, we're trying to fit in with customers. We don't always charge for repairs. You know, if we think it's our fault and something's happened to it, we won't charge for it. We're after repeat business.
Yeah, and with repeat business, I mean, do you get people coming back? Do you see them at different stages in their life? I mean, do you get to kind of sell someone an engagement ring and then they're back for the wedding ring, later they're back for eternity rings? Do you kind of see them through the different ages? Farmers,
that's all I'll say. Very comical gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. I always remember one guy used to come in, don't mess me about, don't like it here. And he used to say, I said, what do you want, sir? How are you today? Fine, we'll cut the chit-chat. I want so-and-so for wife for Christmas. So he'd buy something, and you'd never see him. You only see him at Christmas and anniversaries because he doesn't like town. And then you'd see him coming in one day with his lady and two little babies in a pram. And then now, them two little babies are about 9 foot high. And they've got babies in the pram. I mean, I'm getting on for, I can't find out exactly how long I've been in the street, but I've been in the street somewhere between 35 and 40 years. So it's a long time, and I see a lot of faces. And I do get a bit embarrassed because sometimes we all get old. I mean, it's look at the state of me. And I mean, people come in and they say, hey, how are you doing, Rick? I haven't seen you for a long time. And one guy, I said to him, I haven't seen you for a while. He said, it's 30 years. He emigrated and went to Portugal. But you get a lot of people who you don't, some people do age quite a lot. And you think, and you have to work through who they are. And all of a sudden, then you suss who they are, we're talking to them. So it's an interesting job.
It's an interesting industry like that, isn't it? Because, I mean, a lot of industries are based on repeat business, but they're based on people coming back tomorrow or next week. Whereas if you don't buy jewellery every day, so the gaps in between you seeing people can probably be quite long, I guess. Building that rapport must be quite a challenge.
It can be, but we had actually a family, which is very hard to believe. We were on holiday for 2 weeks and they come in every day. And they even sent us a card when they got back home. They said it was absolutely amazing. They spent money, I mean, not a fortune, but they spent bits and bobs, and they're in every single day. And I thought, oh, crikey, not again. But I mean, it was good. They were nice people, and I sent them a card. But you do get, actually, you won't believe, with our repairs, some people are in nearly every week on different parts of the jewellery. I mean, some people are covered in jewellery. But also, if someone buys a wedding ring, an engagement ring, they'll come back for a wedding ring, and then they'll come back for an eternity ring. And they come back, and then they'll have some children, so they'll say, have you any baby bangles? And it's followed on. It's followed on from there.
So it's about building rapport with customers then?
Oh yeah, I mean, sometimes you can get a little bit of a tear in your eye. I mean, like Katie who works for me, she had a little boy, and you wouldn't believe the little presents, the cards, and it's amazing. And they all come in now, and he's approximately 3-year-old now. And they're still coming, how Sonny, how is he? And I thought, like, lady, bring a T-shirt in for him. And when they go on holiday, they bring little bits and bobs.
Interesting. That's people that you've dealt with over the years who, when that's happened, they've just bought those things in.
Oh, yeah. It's and they'll come in with boxes of chocolates or bottles of wine. And I tell you, a couple of times I've remembered I'd just one of the gentlemen who was coming in, he come in and he asked me for something. And I said to him, try round the corner and explain where to go, and we couldn't do anything. And he walked in one day and he said to me, good morning, how are you? And I said, fine, thank you. And I looked at him, he said, you won't remember me, but A few years ago, he said, I actually wanted something. You were very kind. And you spent about 5 minutes on the phone ringing round to what I wanted. And I said to my lady at the time, I want to do business with that man. And they come in and bought a diamond ring.
All those years later.
Yeah. And that's happened on about 3 occasions that I can remember.
Now, one of the key things with jewellery, I mean, a lot of people just see it as something you buy and you wear and that's it, job done. But I guess it's something you've got to look after and something you've got to take care of.
Yeah, you have. A lot of my ladies get upset because I tell them off when they break the jewellery up, and I always say to them, say you were my lady and I bought you a beautiful Versace dress all silk lined. I said, you wouldn't sleep and wash it and do the garden, would you? But you do things like that in your jewellery. It's ridiculous.
So if people have got a bit of jewellery that maybe has got a bit of damage on it or looks like it's getting a bit of wear, what's the best thing to do?
Just bring it in, we'll have a look, and unlike a lot of shops around here, we don't always tell them a price straight away. What we do is, they book it in, we give them a receipt, everything's done on camera, so there's no skullduggery involved. We send it to the workshop looks at it, and we tell them exactly how much it's going to cost.
It's your life. Coast Life.
Yorkshire Coast